I would say my journey in entrepreneurship actually started very informally, probably when I decided to quit my job in advertising and travel the world. And that changed my point of view forever about what I wanted from life. Formally, it started when I was doing my master's at Simon Fraser in British Columbia. And I had to do my final thesis for New Venture Creation, which was one of the courses. And my particular thesis was something that won. And I was able to, within the context of the class, so actually, won an award and actually had the team wanting to continue on that venture with me. And I thought, wow, I might actually be able to do this thing. This is kind of interesting. And people want to put money into this, and that's really interesting, that I can marshal resources. And so that really just started me believing that it was something that I could do. And that was in 1999. I'm most proud of the transformation of my career actually into an educator. It's been amazing to be a marketer. It's been amazing to be an entrepreneur. But being an educator is incredibly fulfilling. And really the thing that I'm most proud of today, and I think I will be as my career progresses as well. How long have you got? There were a lot. There was, the realities of not having any money as an entrepreneur, but needing to look like you had, yourself all pulled together and that you had the answers and that someone should give you money, and I mean, I was at a hostel, in Upper Manhattan, with my really fat laptop shoved underneath my pillow, grabbing onto it at night, and then walking out in the day and going downtown and, trying to raise money and trying to look like I belonged in those rooms with everyone from Harvard who were pulling all the strings. And so doing a lot with very little, very challenging as an entrepreneur. Being a woman, very challenging. At the time I was first raising money in 1999, there were no women. It was all the money was with men, all of the, power in the various industries that I was in. And I was at that time launching a venture in the fashion industry. It was completely dominated by men who didn't even care about the solution that I had for women, because that wasn't what it was about. It was about shareholders. So it was very revealing as well. So being a woman, being an entrepreneur, which at that time basically meant you're unemployable. It doesn't have the cachet that you had today. Then it was like, aren't you going to get a real job? Let me talk to you about my real job, my real title. So yeah, there were a lot of challenges along the way, and they don't end there. And I think that it's kind of a fallacy to think there's a challenge, you get over it, and then everything's okay. You have to be resilient and you have to be perseverant to always be able to address the challenges every day and, every decade, every year, because they're just going to keep coming. I think the biggest misconception is that you're born to it. That somehow you either, start your life as someone who's incredibly divergent and goes their own way and is born to be an entrepreneur, or born to be a leader even, or born to be a visionary. And I think that's a real fallacy, because it makes it seem like it's this really exclusive club that you can't learn your way into, you can't work your way into. And I think that's kind of manufactured by people that would like to keep a lot of other people out of it. And, I'm really proud of the work that we do in making entrepreneurship accessible and diverse and inclusive. And I really take offense to that kind of club, whatever kind of club it is. Girls club, boys club, old boys club, whatever it is, right? Old entrepreneurs club. It's not an exclusive club. It takes a lot of hard work to be in it. So does the gym. But anybody can walk through that door. And so I think that's a very common misconception that I hope we're contributing to breaking up, breaking that idea up.